Okay, so this is my third attempt at trying to record this. So I know this message really needs to be out, and there's a lot of entities trying to stop it. So I'm gonna just keep trying until it gets out. So this message is around it's connected to the information or the links that I shared the last video. You may have watched it and you may have opted to not watch it, and I understand why, because it is very difficult to hear certain things. Now, I'm not going to talk too much about the details of what was, on those videos, but what I am going to talk about is the people that are sharing that type of information, particularly Ali and Jaguar Wright. And the reason why I'm bringing them up is because that's who I had been talking about for a few years before they even got brought up and out to the light. So what I'm being shown and what I want to, just kind of bring to your awareness is that ever since the P. Diddy thing came out, all of a sudden now people are paying attention to them and taking them serious. But they have been saying and speaking this for many years. So they haven't jumped on a wagon. They haven't all of a sudden decided to be a victim. They've been speaking up and speaking out for many years. People have ignored them. People have just completely just disregarded everything that they've been screaming at people to listen to. And so one of them in particular, and I'm not going to say which one because I want you guys to use your intuition. I want you guys to pray on it. I want you guys to use discernment. These messages for me have been all along with you guys making sure that you are listening to yourself and most importantly to Creator. And so what I'm going to say is that one of them, I came across a post where she is saying that she uses witchcraft. Now, I have a couple of things to say about that. So please listen all the way through before you make up your mind about anything. This is important. So while I don't agree with witchcraft that is, let's say, using anything that is dark, like praying to dark entities, using it for to cause bad or harm to other people, there is witchcraft that, because it's named witchcraft, it has automatically a bad rap and people close it off. And while we're in a time where we should not be practicing any of that, because it is a crucial time, and this is something that I was shown 3 years ago, and it is very, very important for people not to be utilizing any kind of craft or anything like that, because people are scared, people don't want to hear it, people are scared. I'm going to say though that there is energies that could be used for good. And to explain further, what I mean by that is when you are praying, right? See, when you say people, like when you tell people I am praying, they automatically feel good about that. They feel, there's nothing wrong with that, which there isn't. I agree with that. But why I'm saying it is because it is a form of craft. It is a form of manifestation, but people don't connect it to that way. But when you're praying into creating something or into manifesting something. You're asking for something to be conjured that hasn't yet happened. And you happen to be praying to God, so it feels right. But it is a type of manifestation and craft. Okay, so that's the point. And so why I'm explaining all this is because, so now that this has surfaced about Jaguar, well, I said it. I was going to let you guys figure out. Okay, so I came out. I'm just going to keep going with it. She voiced that she does witchcraft. Okay, she uses witchcraft, but she uses it to protect herself. Now, once again, if she's praying to negative entities, I don't care if she's doing it for a positive thing. I don't agree with it. But now if she's using prayer, light work, even though some people will disagree, and that's your right, as long as she's not using it to cause harm to others, then I'm going to say, let's pay attention to what is happening. Let's not disregard and write anything off. Because I remind you guys, the not so good side has for years drilled it in our head that we should not use our powers, our intuition, things that were God given to us, because they're evil, so that we wouldn't use it, so that we wouldn't tap into our strengths, because then things would be over for them. If we remember our abilities, they are afraid that we're going to block and protect ourselves. So this is what I'm saying, that Jaguar, if this is what she's been using it for, I don't blame her. Why? Because the horrific things that they have done, and they continue to do, I would be praying and protecting myself too, which I had to, because I was being spiritually attacked, and I still am being spiritually attacked. So all this that's been going on for years and years, but only for the last few years are people now aware of it. This is nothing new. And what they've been doing is that they have been using evil to control the masses, whether it's mentally, or again, whether it's been to harm our children, or to do all the things that I'm not going to go into detail about, because if you really want to know, that's why I shared those links, the last video. So my point is, we're in the time now where Creator told us a few months ago that there was going to be so much being said, and so many different people were going to come forward and say that they're saying the truth, and they're going to be speaking up and you know, shining light on people that are evil. And it was going to get confusing on who to trust, who to believe. And I feel we are now in that time. So the people that have been saying stuff that are exposing people are now being discredited. They're being gaslit so that it confuses us. And the people that are working for, you know, not the greater good of all, humanity, they have been pretending to, and not everybody, but this is what I'm saying, like certain people have been pretending that they're doing the right thing, that they found, you know, God, and that they're being restored and all this stuff, that they've repented, but it's all for show. And the only way you're going to really know is pay attention to their actions, not their words. I know for myself, God told me at the beginning of all this not to use certain language, not pretty much to cease my practice of, you know, doing readings and working with energy, because we're in a time where people don't understand. Even though it's God-given, people automatically fear it, because what people don't understand, they fear. And so God told me, we're going to come into a time where people are really, really going to be not trusting. And the minute that you say something that is against their indoctrination, it's going to trigger them. It's going to trigger fear into them, and they're going to stop listening. And this is what's happening. And I see it in the communities. I don't want to start, you know, going into like certain religions, but there's specific religions that will especially voice, you know, like if you, like for example, somebody was just saying the other day, oh, you know, if people start talking about the chakras in energy, you should be careful, because they're working with the dark, when they have no idea what they're talking about, because the chakras and the energy is God-given. We are energy, we are light, and manifesting into you know, physical form. So to say that, working on our chakras, working with light is of, evil, they're only talking based on fear, based on things that they were told to believe and not think for themselves. So very important time for you guys to not buy into everything that is being said, not fear everything that is being said, but listen and just pay attention. And again, over and over and over, stay in your relationship with Creator, because that's how you're going to know. How do you feel? And how do you feel? Like, does it feel truth? And if it's a fear, is it your fear, or is it because this is what people are telling you to fear? Anyways, I'm going to share another link, and the link is with Allie, but this is not very graphic. It is just more of so you can understand her journey and what a victim goes through, and the different personalities and disassociations that they go through, because they have to go into a protective mechanism. And why that's important is because, again, they're trying to discredit what they're saying by saying, oh, well, she has multiple personalities, so she's crazy, she doesn't know what she's saying. And the reason they're saying that is because they don't want you to believe what they're saying, because they're trying to protect those who are doing the the evildoers. Again, I'm not siding on any particular side. I'm paying attention, and I'm encouraging you guys to do the same.